This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday boy for today, May the 2nd, and he's 43 years old today, is a former NHL player who played for Tampa, New York, Dallas, Chicago, and Detroit. He was a two-time champion in 04 with the Lightning and 2015 with the Hawks, who ironically took care of the Lightning in the Stanley Cup Finals. He's a legend of Prince Edward Island. His name is Brad Richards. So anyway, Brad Richards was born and raised in Murray Harbor, Prince Edward Island. And then he became fast friends with Vincent Lecavalier when they met at Ethel Murray College of Notre Dame, a boarding school with a hockey program in Saskatchewan. They were good friends and all that at Ethel Murray. And then they ended up being teammates in the Quebec League, Junior League, with Rimouski and with Tampa. Lecavalier actually suggested to Lightning management after he got drafted by Tampa to draft Richards. And all that. Richards looked pretty good. He led the Quebec League in points with 186. Was named the CHL Player of the Year and leading scorer. And then he was the MVP of the Quebec playoffs in the 2000 Memorial Cup, winning the title. Well, Richards was drafted in the third round by Tampa in '98, the same draft as Lecavalier in the first overall. So it was funny how Lecavalier and Richards, who were teammates at Notre Dame College, were picked by Tampa in the same draft. So Richards spent a few years in Rimouski, built himself up, and by 2004, Richards would have the playoff run of his life, getting 7 game-winning goals. A team has to win 16 games to win the Stanley Cup, and he had the winning goal in 7 of them, which was a record which broke Joe Sakic and Joe Nieuwendyke's mark of 6. So Richards did his job, and obviously he was named Conn Smythe Trophy winner for playoff MVP. He won the Lady Being Gentleman Trophy later that season, and helped Canada win the World Cup of Hockey, which was the highlight of the 04-05 season because, that was the lockouts. That was the lockout season. Richards had to play in the Russian Super League with Akbars Kazan because of the strike. He was on the same team as Ilya Kovalchuk, Alex Kovalev, Lecavalier, Michael Nylander, Alex Shetnik, Danny Heatley, and Nikolai Hobybulin. Richards played for Canada in the 06 Olympics, which was disastrous. Tampa signed him to a 5-year, $39 million contract extension after the 2006 season. However, before the trade deadline in 2008, Richards was sent to Dallas in a blockbuster deal in exchange for Mike Smith, the goalie, Jeff Halpern, Jussi Jokinen, and a 4th-round pick. Richards put up 5 assists in his first game as a star and was named the first star. No pun intended. Richards did pretty well for himself. Unfortunately, though, he got a massive injury in February 2009 and missed 15 games. He would break both hands during the season. So, anyway, Richards had a great season in the 2010 season, but they failed to make the playoffs. So, after one more season with Dallas, he was an unrestricted free agent, and the New York Rangers were salivating. They took him on July 2nd, 2011, giving him a 9-year, $60 million contract. Yikes. That's huge. But anyway, Richards would be a Ranger and would be reunited with his Tampa coach, who helped them win the Cup in 2004, John Tortorella, and also Ruslan Fedotenko. Ruslan Fedotenko was a Ranger? Okay, well, anyway. Toronto and Tampa were looking to get him, too, but they failed. Anyway, Richards scored his first Ranger goal when they lost to the Ducks at Stockholm's Arena because of the NHL Europe Series. He would record 25 goals and 41 assists in his first season with the Rangers. They would put up 15 points in 20 playoff games as the Rangers were so close, but they lost in the conference finals to the Devil Dogs. Anyway, Richards was decent for the Rangers. In fact, in 2014, the Rangers decided to go after Martin St. Louis, picked him up in a trade for Ryan Callahan, while reuniting the two. And the magic was there for MSL and Richards, helping the Rangers get all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, but the Kings took them out. The Rangers used a buyout on the remaining 7 years of Richards' contract to increase salary cap space. So that meant he was a free agent, and the Blackhawks give him a 1-year, $2 million contract. Richards couldn't wear 19 for the first time in his career because John Vertaze had that, so he reversed the numbers to 91. He picked up his 1,000th career NHL game his first season with the Hawks. And he would be the guy who got the main assist on Patrick Kane's cup-clinching goal in Game 6 of the Finals against Tampa. How ironic was it that Brad Richards won a cup with the Lightning and then he won a cup against the Lightning? Detroit then gave him a 1-year, $3 million contract. Now, Richards had a problem with his number because 19 was retired for Stevie Yzerman, and Detroit was about to probably retire 91 for Sergei Fedorov because no one wore 91 after Fedorov left. Richards decided to wear number 17, which was a funny number because that made him the third member from Prince Edward Island to play for the Red Wings and wear number 17. Forbes Kennedy and Gerald Gallant were the other two. Anyway, Richards did some good jobs, 28 points in 68 games. Unfortunately, the Red Wings were taken out in the first round by Tampa. After that season, he decided to retire, saying that, he had good accomplishments. So Richards goes back to Murray Harbor, Prince Edward Island during the offseason, and he hosts a celebrity golf classic, which supports two charities, Children's Wish Foundation and the Autism Society of Prince Edward Island. Well, he's good with me. So anyway, Richards was a very good person towards sick kids, renting out a box seats for children going through treatments for both the the Stars and the Lightning. Richards married an Australian woman and have 2 children. Richards can speak both English and French. Well, Rimouski is a big thing. So anyway, in 1,126 regular season games, he's put up 932 points, pretty good, and 91 points in 123 playoff games. Of course, winning 2 Stanley Cups in 2004 and 2015. So yeah, he had a lot of major awards in the Quebec League. In the NHL, he was part of the All-Rookie team in 2001, Stanley Cup in 2004 and 2015, Conn Smythe Trophy 2004, Lady Byng 2004, All-Star Game only once in 2011. Jeez, you'd think he would have more All-Star Game appearances. And yes, he does have the record for most game-winning goals in a single playoff. So it's just magical how he was doing so good and all that. Just fight me on anything. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.